Hello, everyone! Blue Star Saber here once again to discuss My Hero Academia with Luckychi7. Say hello, Luckychi7.
I'm here? Question mark? No, I'm joking. Of course I'm here. Of course I'm here. And by the way, just to make Blue Star jealous, I got the hero analysis book. So, ha!
You lucky son of a gun! You lucky son of a gun! You lucky son of a gun!
And I'm not referring to the theater exclusive thing you get at a World Heroes Mission. I'm talking about the Ultra analysis character book that comes. Like, if pretty much for anyone who has the Naruto third data book, it's pretty much that from My Hero Academia. It's pretty cool.
You lucky son of a gun, you both got the movie, tie-in volume and the bloody data book. You lucky son of a gun!
I am called Luckychi for a reason.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I say that, but then April then I decided to
then you get stuff like Attack on Titan 139.
And Naruto. Ugh. Memories. Anyway, put them back into the dark era. We don't.
But yes, we're here to discuss My Hero Academia, chapter 331, United States of America. Though I just called it USA Strike for the subheadline, but
USA, US. I don't care.
What's this, Luckychi? You're not patriotic enough for your country? You don't love your country enough to go, USA, USA, USA? No, I'm joking.
I mean, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I'm joking. It's like, to be honest,
I respect my country enough.
I mean, it might be a cool chant to do now and then, but
like every now and then I think it's cool. But if you constantly do it, it's like,
it's annoying.
Yeah. Like, if it's, like, in the moment, like, when you're standing and doing, like, the pledges and whatnot, all right, yeah, sure, fair enough, but... Yeah.
Granted, I'm pretty certain my country does not do that kind of thing when it comes to our national anthem, at least, but, at least in schools and all that stuff, but heck...
Well, yeah, schools is a different topic altogether,
but yeah. But anyway... But let's not get into, the patriotism of American politics and whether or not they should and should not do these and all that stuff, but heck.
I mean, we are just talking about anthems, so it's that major, but...
Yeah. But anyway, we should probably get on from the last chapter, this chapter, as I believe... Let's see, last time, I'll say
this, so far we still have no arc title yet for what we're currently dealing with, so there's that. I just wanted to give you guys a little heads up, something set up.
But yeah, fair enough. But Stars and Stripes, let's see, just figuring out her quirk was not working on Shigaraki, so let's see, she's trying to plan a countermeasure and all that stuff, and it looks like Shigaraki has repelled her and all that stuff.
Yep. That nice wavy white hair going too. I mean, his hair was already wavy as it is, but it's like Tarzan hair now.
Yes. Yeah, Shigaraki's grown some hair and all that stuff and causing a massive explosion, I think, from the looks of things. And that's where we last off. And I believe also, him struggling with all for one and all that. Let's see, all for one inside his mind and all that stuff. So, yeah.
And who said it? Who said it?
You did?
Yes.
You just love it when you're right, don't you?
That's what happens when you start doubting me.
But anyway,
it's like if Blue Star was playing football and they just came and tackled him.
Wait, what kind of football are you referring to? Europe football or US football?
UK football.
UK football. Okay. Fair enough. But yeah. Just for those who are American-only watchers, just for a load of reference, in the UK, we refer to soccer as football and football as rugby. Well, granted, it might be an entirely different sport or entirely with the way how we, with rugby, but heck. But I don't know. From my understanding, rugby is a lot less violent and a lot less brain damage than US football.
Yeah, I mean,
But anyway, we've got, let's see, 5 minutes of dawdling. Might as well get into the summary of the chapter. So following the explosion from like the last chapter, let's see, Stars and Stripes is just flying in the air, just wondering if like Shigaraki's hair's just flown as she lands on one of like the US jets.
Mm-hmm.
With Shigaraki, no, actually, it's actually Shigaraki that's landed on one of the US jets. My mistakes there, because I'm just turning to the double page.
Yeah, but Shigaraki is one that landed.
But it says he's now, but him stating in this double page how he now gets how New Order works and that stuff.
I'll say this right now: that pilot's like, we fucked up. we're gone.
It's like
that's the look he has right now.
It's like, wait, what the?
Right?
As Shigaraki goes on, but anyway, as Shigaraki goes on to explain, while New Order may be a supreme type of quirk, it does have its own constrained rules and all that stuff. Let's see, as apparently the USA, as the government strictly oversees her quirk and all that stuff, and particularly hide the details of how it works, which, to be fair, you probably don't want your enemies knowing how your most powerful asset works exactly. All that stuff.
Were you making a Bleach reference there, my friend? Because that's the first thought my mind went to when you said, yeah, you can reveal enemy techniques to the opposite phone. I'm like, thinking, Bleach.
Well, no, but thank you for pointing that out.
I don't know. That's the first thought my mind went to. I'm like, Bleach?
But no, I was kind of thinking more of like how probably the US government doesn't want, let's see, the rest of the world know how it creates its nuclear weapons and all that stuff. Yeah. Another pretty advanced weaponry it may have.
I mean, look, as much as we all love Bleach, as the one part where I'm like, see, maybe you shouldn't reveal everything right off the bat just to be surprised, but
because immediately afterwards, your opponent figures out how to cancel it.
Right?
I know. Let's see. I'll probably just quick mini rant here for Bleach. Let's see. One thing that I wish Bleach did instead of like the characters themselves revealing their abilities, you have the opponents figuring it out. You know, kind of like how they used to do with early Naruto.
I was gonna say did that start happening with the final arc, or was it during the Aranka saga? That's what I'm trying to remember.
I think it was somewhere in the Aranka saga.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Because by the time it was in the Blood War, people's like, Kubo, stop doing this.
Yeah, right.
So that means to tell me is that it's been around for at least a while.
That's what I figured. Yeah, because I was like, I don't recall that being in Soul Society, but again,
so it's at least around the Aranka arc where people start to either fall out of love of Bleach, depending on who you ask.
True.
After all, because for many people, the Soul Society was the peak of Bleach.
True.
But anyway, back to like the explaining of the quirk and all that stuff.
Yep.
Let's see, but yeah. Though let's see, though the government, keeps the quirk a secret, though there's a guess people somewhat get, but not the full picture. As let's see, she touches a target. Its name, let's see, and says its name and assigns a rule of her choice. Let's see, as this is like a jaw-dropping and very powerful quirk. Let's see, and apparently even debates what exactly a quirk is and all that stuff. From what I think, though Shigaraki has learned quite a bit from like their battle. And he reveals that as far as powering up a living body goes, there's a hard limit and all that stuff. Otherwise, she would have tried to kill him right from the start by crushing his head with, pure power and all that stuff.
And he does have a point by saying that, because otherwise, we'll have him right then and there.
Let's see. Although she does go like, on the other hand, there's no limit to how much a rule can incapacitate someone. As he tends to compare this to like a bartometer with like an upper cap or something.
Yeah.
a guard that she can set will let's see, and all that
It's
stuff.
kind of like the best comparison I could think of was like a scale, like when you're
Yeah,
trying to balance it out, kind of like that.
yeah. Though granted, as Shigaraki goes on to saying like how, judging from what she didn't say if he touches the air within the set range, he dies. This means that the new rule can't ability involve things she hasn't touched and all that stuff. Through like her wording and all that stuff. Roundabout, I believe it goes.
Yeah.
Although she could make a rule, but it may be less effective. As he's, though granted, from what he's looked at, like the lasers and vacuums from earlier, she's managed to boost an impressive degree of freedom when it comes to non-living things. So that's apparently where news orders true utility. So let's see, and apparently this is where lies like new orders true utility. This is very explanationally chapter, so that's why I'm going in such detail. Apparently the differences between
you're good.
But yeah. But this is a very more of an exposition type chapter, really. But yeah. Anyway, the differences in the effectivity between the rules of the living and non-living. There's much to do with like also the process of naming like the target. For example, Hano for like Shigaraki didn't take too much of hold because her understanding of like reality didn't quite mesh well and all that stuff. So when for example, when she touched Shigaraki, she called him Tamura Shigaraki, but his understanding of himself is a bit hazy. Is he Shigaraki all for one, or even Shimura even and all that stuff? His original identity, before he became Tamura Shigaraki and all that stuff.
Yeah, Tenko Shimura. Yeah.
Yeah. Which got to him to realize that, which the guy of Shigaraki, this irresistible. Sorry, I'm going ahead of myself here. So when calling the name of a target with a sense of self, Stars and Stripes' understanding of the target's identity must in line with like Shigaraki's own thing. So like he must see himself like Tamura Shigaraki for it to like her rules to fully take effect.
Yep.
Let's see, for targets without, for example, he goes on like with targets without a self-sense or one-sided let's see. So, for example, how one-sided set of rules doesn't really take effect on that stuff. And she can only target 2 targets at once. He's figured out that she can only do like 2 commands at once. And what effective range it would work with? Let's see, she called let me just reread this. Only 2 targets at once, I suppose. And what's her effective range? It would work if she called my dog Mon by his name Mon. Though Shigaraki's now got on an irresistible urge to test out her rules and all that stuff, as he's never been so on edge. So in other words, this is probably the most threatening stage of his life he's ever been in battle. Not even like when he was battling all the Japan's heroes and all that stuff.
Shoot, wouldn't you be terrified if it were me and you? That'd be feeling the same way. I'd be like, oh, okay, let's re-strategize this. No.
So it's clear that from what I'm judging, Stars and Stripes may be more of a threat than all those heroes were at the time of the war combined to Shigaraki.
Which is really telling.
Well, it definitely it definitely shows that she's really living up to her title as the strongest female hero.
Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff. Heck, she might even be stronger than Endeavor.
Don't go saying that to the Endeavor fans. You know what's going to happen. They're going to come for your head. They be looking at this and go like, who's this blue star guy?
But yeah.
I'm going to roast him.
But yeah, Stars and Stripes is like figuring out that, let's see, was wondering if Shigaraki has a way of getting around like attacks that affect his breathing and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she gets a sort of like a command. Let's see, get asked about, I think, from the pilots what to do now since New Order and the concentrated laser fire just about nothing on this, like on Shigaraki, due to his regenerating abilities.
Mm-hmm.
With her then saying to send word to Commander Akbar. No, I think depending on which translation, I think it spells as Akbar, right?
In the official, I want to say yes.
Because the way, from what I can tell from the Viz translation, it's spelled as Agpar, Agpar, though.
The Viz translation? Let me see real quick.
Because that is the official translation.
Agpar. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I remember when I read this and I looked at okay, I didn't look at you, but I talked with you and I was like, go away. I know you love Star Wars. You gave it away even more in the last chapter, but this.
Did the translators not, let's see, fully translate it properly, or did they just figure, Akbar is easier for people to understand?
Yeah, right.
That's just what I'm wondering, but yeah.
But keep going. We'll get more into it, like when we actually see that panel.
But yeah, but let's see. With the pilots going like, "Are you sure about this?" Because it's like bad enough that they've skyrocketed here without like permission and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she says that now's not the time to let's see debate on whether or not to use like special authority and all that stuff and the consequences or actions.
Yep.
With like her thinking about how this punk's graduated from being Japan's local menace to like now a threat to the entire world. So he's become a country level villain.
I've been telling people, like, look, since Meta Liberation, figure out. You could argue Meta Liberation Army, but at the very least, like, once the war, okay, like, he's a threat to be reckoned with for sure.
He's probably gone from S class to SS class.
Maybe even triple S at this point.
Yeah. Let's see. Is all for one triple S or is he double S?
Who knows? Who knows?
And I know he was in his own special category compared to like the other villains, but yeah.
Keep going.
So she ends up going like they gotta use tactics that Japan lacks and all that stuff to make him dead now. So it's like let's see. Okay, we might have to break some rules here in order to take him down. But yeah. Okay. Though granted, she says just and she tells her pilots, like for the meantime, just to try and give her a place to plant her feet into a rifle. Let's see, and he goes like, "Okay, bros." I guess it's kind of like a kiss in the air kind of gesture she's doing. But the pilot's going like, "Oh hell!" With one of them thinking back to when we see her without like what appears to be her civilian look, I guess, where she's not got all those All Might hair like looks up when it's just like normal hair, and you just can see and you can just see without the costume just how muscular she looks without her costume on and all that stuff. It's like she really is like a bodybuilt woman and all that stuff, though. Granted, I'm curious to see how much of that is her own physical strength or what her quirk's done to her.
Yeah, right.
Let's see, though. Granted, the pilot's thinking back to like how she says like, from today on, you're under my wing, boys. If we fight together, we die together. As like brothers in arms, if you go like that.
Yep.
With like one of the pilots saying, let's see, she does ask the world of us, with then asking, "Hey, Wedge," which again, Star Wars reference.
That's only just cracking the surface because there's another panel that comes up here later on, and Blue knows exactly what I'm referring to once we get there. But
yeah, so it seems like Shigaraki has landed on Wedge's plane. So, as he's been told to shake off that low life.
Low life? Excuse me.
He's insulting your boy, Luckychi. But Shigaraki's able to land on his Nomu. I still can't tell if that's one of the high-end Nomus that All for One had, but yeah, probably is. let's see what. Let's see. But anyway, let's see with how should I go with oh yeah, Stars and Stripes now going like how he told everyone that told like I think Shigaraki knowing what I'm about wouldn't help you fight back. This is what I meant and all that stuff. And she now gives a new order saying the air forms into my shape but 1,000 times bigger. Fist bump to the earth as we see.
Hey, it's inner soccer, and I'm joking.
No, and we see a giant silhouette of her in the air, ready to strike. In many ways, it does kind of remind me of Inner Sakura, at least how many of the Ninja Naruto games used, like in part 1, used like Inner Sakura as an ultimate moveset.
Honestly, I know that was in part 2, sort of, but Inner Soccer was pretty cool. I wish we saw more of it, but
You know, I always imagined if Kishimoto was to give Sakura some sort of like kaiju-like avatar thing, he'd find a way to make it Inner Sakura. Or makes it look like a pit in a Sakura of like some genjutsu.
it would have been cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you got plenty of Storm games to give you ideas about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like make the Inner Sakura reality.
Kishi. Oh wow, the games did it even better than my story. I'm like, I can see why.
But yeah, like
At least what he said for Storm 3, I can't remember.
But yeah, it's like yeah, Inner Sakura for like see as like you could have done. Let's see, bit off rant topic here. I think you could have done like an Inner Sakura where it looks like Sakura's created a giant avatar in itself, but it's a genjutsu fooling people when it's actually still, and the fist impact is actually her normal strength and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not technically an avatar, but it's a clever way of fooling someone to think it is.
Yeah, right.
But like that, I don't know, that's one option he could have done, but he didn't. But yeah.
Well.
But anyway.
Fist bump to the earth.
But yeah, Shigaraki can't really can't really see anything there, but he's got a nasty feeling, like his instincts are tingling. Mm-hmm. As Stars and Stripes make a punch, and you can see like the silhouette of her that's created in the air that I don't think Shigaraki can see making such a huge win impact. It's like, damn, this is like powerful.
Yeah, right.
As we can see, Shigaraki's flying off his Nomu and all that stuff. And let's see, with like Stars and Stripes no longer concerned about let's see. Is no longer bothering about. Let's see. She's not bothering with his like real name now because she realized this is not going to work. So she's going to try and take as much damage as he can by using like a then clap move to like push him even further, and decides that he's going to burst him down to atoms. It's like, so yeah, he's pushing Shigaraki down to like let's see near the ocean, which that stuff as we can see how badly damaged the attack has done to him. With then Stars and Stripes ordering like her, let's see, pilots to give her a taste of those lasers. As they all fire at her, as she says the lasers combine into one as she's holding it.
Oh, hi, Indra's Arrow. I'm gonna roll with these references today. Oh my god.
So I didn't quite catch that one.
I said, oh, hi, Indra's Arrow, and then I was like, damn, I'm on a roll today. I'm sorry, Blue.
So Indra from like let's see Sasano and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. But yeah, but it's a giant silhouette. Looks like it's holding the owl, though it's technically her really. As she ends up using a move called United Hypermax Output Laser. Let's see.
Let's see here if I can acronym that. UHMOL.
Let's see.
The UMOL.
Nah, I don't think you can for this one, Luckychi.
Nope, I tried.
But anyway, she ends up using a move, and the attack she uses this laser move is called Kranos, I think it's called, at least in the official translation.
It's either I think it's Kranos or
Coronas.
Coronas? Something like that.
But yeah, but you can see like
I'm gonna Google Translate this. Yeah, even though Google Translate not the best.
But pretty much we can see like her giant looks like her giant silhouette's holding like a giant laser spear, Ritzy crashing down to the ocean with Shigaraki inside it.
All right, Blue. I know we're live right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna see what this word actually is.
Fair enough. I'll just keep summarizing it's going on the story detail. So yeah, as the laser keeps hitting Shigaraki into the ocean, she goes on about how a non-stop blast at maximum laser will probably burn him away to nothing. Let's see, he'll burn him away to nothing and all that stuff. Though she grants it, she doubts it, but she'll keep pinning him down. Let's see, as she says, like, if this was enough to finish him, then let's see, Endeavor could have finished the job and all that stuff earlier.
It's Carinos, by the way, Blue.
I'm sorry, what is it called?
It's called Carinos.
Okay, fair enough. Carinos.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Fair enough, but yeah. Anyway, as she's saying now, like, let's see, if let's see, I doubt she's saying how doubts he will die from this because otherwise Endeavor would have finished him off with his hell flames, all that stuff. But anyway, just as she's saying this, she's finally got in contact with Akbar and all that stuff. And we see that he looks exactly like Admiral Akbar, but with a mustache.
Mm-hmm. I was sitting there going like, I was treated like shit in the sequel trilogy. I'm gonna bring myself over to my hero. And Blue knows exactly what I'm referring
to. But yeah. Hero does love it. I mean, Koei does love his Star Wars reference, at least mostly from the OT, but yeah.
How does that make you feel that we kind of have Akbar now in my hero?
Well, to be fair, he is doing this based on Star Wars. To be fair, he is doing this with American heroes for the most part, and well,
I mean, he's thrown references in the early stuff too, like Dagobah and Wookiees, but what was something? Little references here and there. So it's out of the realm.
But yeah, it just goes to show that in Japan, Star Wars is quite popular in Japan. Even though we don't always see the references. Let's see.
If I hear something about Sidious coming up soon, I'm going to be like, what the
Yeah. I mean, granted, let's see. Most anime and manga, I don't necessarily see Star Wars references until, like... Well, granted, you got, like, one arc in Gintama with a Star Wars reference, and sadly, Boruto had a Star Wars reference. I thought, okay, you're taking this too far.
What's the matter, Phil? You didn't like the chakra saber?
No, I just don't think that kind of weapon should exist in, like, let's see, in the world of Naruto.
But it's made out of chakra.
Okay, if it was like 100 years in Naruto's future, I might have believed it. Not like 10 or 15. But yeah.
You see what happened here? What happens here, guys? Anytime we talk about Naruto, Blue Star gets bored instantly.
But no, sorry. But yeah, but anyway.
I'm joking, boy.
Back to like the summary and all that stuff. So it's like he's gotten accustomed to her independent ways of being careless. Let's see. With Akbar saying this stunt will make her lose more than just her license, though. She says that's fine by me. It's fine by her and all that stuff. Let's see. So she's asking if things already on her end. Which he confirms, and he says just this once he's going to do it and all that stuff. And he's also informed Japan about the strike being imminent and all that stuff. But granted, that's what she wanted to hear. Now, granted, the Akbar goes like with her like flagrant defiance from the rules. He has said that regardless, Ritzy really has made their nation shine all the brighter and all that stuff. As he goes like how All Might himself can put an end to like this villain. As she tells her to prepare to surpass him in this case. Prepare to surpass him, Cassie.
Here's an interesting thing I want to know, and if you look at the panel where they reveal her name to be Cassie, the person that's next to All Might is kind of covered by the speech bubble. So
yeah,
I don't know that I might be looking into it too much, but that seems a little suspicious that you would do that.
I wonder if it's like the the guy from the movie that helped All Might.
Oh, Dave?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It could
Actually,
be-
no. I don't think it's Dave. I think it does look like a woman. I think, but if it's Dave, it's Dave. But
might be her mother, I guess. But yeah.
yeah.
Or maybe someone else that's important. But yeah. We see a picture of her and All Might because it seems like All Might allowed to take a picture of her. So All Might knows her to some extent from this, at least on a personal level. So she's not fully just like All Might's not just fully like a spiritual mentor to him and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says that the weapon's name is Tiamat. Make sure every last one hits the mark and all that stuff. As we see these missiles launch, where they're called the state-of-the-art hypersonic intercontinental cruise missiles. Or Tiamat, and as they're launching into the air and all that stuff, we see them flying in the sky as they're concluding the chapter and all that stuff.
You want to know a little bit of trivia that I just found out about that name blue?
What about it?
The Tiamat, if you remember, was the sensei to Barrage from Barrage.
Ah, okay.
I just looked. I was like, I know that name sounds familiar, so I looked it up real quick, and I was like, oh my god, that's.
For a second, I thought you were going to tell me it was the name of the nuclear bomb that US dropped in Japan.
No, it wasn't that. No, I looked it up. I was like, I've heard that name before. So I Googled it, and I was like, huh. So I guess here and now.
Yeah.
Barrage too. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
So yeah, so anyways, I guess it's now time to get into the overall thoughts of the chapter, Luckychi.
Shitty. No.
But I have to admit, I'm really liking like the art style or all that stuff. Particularly, like I like how Shigaraki's hair blends with the clouds on that one double panel spread.
Yeah, that was kind of my big thing. I looked at that. I was like, that's actually pretty cool.
It almost makes it look like it is like the whole clouds itself is his hair.
I know, right?
But yeah. So anyway, Luckychi, if I recall, let's see. Anyways, this chapter, from what I can tell from like our conversations offhand, where we briefly talked about this chapter, you said this chapter addressed some of the concerns you had about Stars and Stripes quirk.
Yeah, it did. Because I know I was like, that's a little suspicious. But then when the chapter came out and I read it, I was like, okay.
I'm very curious to see if it would be the same case with James, because as we've had from a recorded podcast, her quirk was one of his biggest worries.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing that's I'm like, okay.
Which I assume you'll probably have posted out in a couple of days and all that stuff. Or
yeah, I'm going to try to have it out. I don't know if I'll have it up by Saturday, but I'll either have it out by, say, this upcoming Sunday or Monday, 1 of 2 days, depending on how things go on my end. But hopefully around that time, I should have it out.
But yeah, I did like how, in many ways, New Order has its own sort of like secrets, like all One for All did with like, Japan and all that stuff, where no one knew like the whole secret behind All Might's strength, for like it being like a quirk that transfers from hero to hero, stockpiling power. Some else just assumed that All Might's power was, super strength. We learned that her quirk is also a bit of a secret, as the US government decided to keep it that way and all that stuff. Though granted, the public does have some idea of how it works, like whatever she touches, it says its name and all that stuff. She can make rules to it and all that stuff, so yeah.
Yeah.
And the way Shigaraki describes it, this quirk is so powerful that it practically redefines what a quirk can be and all that stuff. So it's like, in many ways, it's probably the peak of like the quirk doom theory that the Doctor from the League of Villains had.
Probably.
like just how ridiculous quirks can get. But yeah. I do like how with like Shigaraki is able to figure out how this quirk works as going through battle and all that stuff.
Yeah, which I think is pretty good and really telling of where his character's been going so far.
But yeah.
Like, no, it's not like he's being super rational about it. Like, now he's actually, like, he's still kind of rational, but now he's, like, actually, like, taking things into account.
Yeah, because if we went with the Shigaraki from like, let's see, from
Like,
the beginning,
Volume 3? Yeah, no.
yeah, he'd be too rash and too angry to like rationalize how a quirk works and all that stuff.
In a sense, you could say that's the one benefit you get out of Shigaraki coming off from the Metal Liberation Army arc, because that arc kind of does showcases like him kind of like breaking off from that rational side to him ultimately being what he is right now. I mean, it's like I said, it's not like it's completely gone, but you know, like now he's actually being a little more critical when it comes to scenarios like this.
Yeah, such as figuring out that the quirk seems to have like let's see, as powering up goes, there's a limit to like physical strength and all that stuff. Otherwise, she could have just tried and killed him straight from the start with like just pure power.
Pretty much.
So it's like she can't make herself strong enough to like just crush someone's head and all that stuff. Though she can make herself super strong, though. Granted, we do know that from like a bit before, but yeah. As she said, that she can make herself strong, but not as strong as All Might. But yeah, let's see. But there's also rule. But he's also figured out there's rules on how much like she can incapacitate someone. Thinking back to like the rule of like the heart stopping and all that stuff.
Yep.
I don't like we said a bit earlier, how he used like some sort of barometer, like a scale to determine the powers and all that stuff. So, and I do like how it's like he's figured out that, okay, so there's limits to what she can do with her quirk with like living things, but non-living things, she has a bit more leeway, so.
Yeah.
Let's see, so it's like, that's the main, let's see, handicap of like the quirk, really. Let's see, when it's like normal objects and all that, non-living objects, she can do whatever she wants, but with like living things, there's a limit, because let's see, well, living things have their own sort of like identities and rules and all that stuff, because Shigaraki himself doesn't quite figure out who he is at the moment. Because he doesn't really know. One advantage to him is that he doesn't know if he's Shigaraki, Tomura, or, all for one and all that stuff. So is he just shouting like whatever random name just won't work on him, really, because he doesn't know what he identifies as. So that's like, so commanding him to die just won't work and all that stuff. So yeah, while with like just normal living, so like just non-inanimate objects, she can just like, since they just generally have regular names, but see people know and set them as, she can just give them a command and all that stuff, and it follows her rules and all that stuff. So it's like, let's see, as long as it's like sense of self, let's see, it's less effective, but non-sense of self, you can do whatever you want. But I do like how Shigaraki has like, let's see, after figuring out this quirk, he admits that, okay, this is so far, we kind of mentioned this earlier, this is like the strongest opponent he's faced.
Definitely.
And he is like, let's see, but at the same time, you can clearly tell he's excited to fight it and wants to learn as much as he can about this quirk, because he's like, I really want this quirk. But yeah, I do like how once the battle that Stars and Stripes realize, okay, clearly normal methods aren't going to work on them, so we're going to have to go a bit off the book and all that stuff. And all that. So it's like, as she tries to get her pilots to, contact, Commander Agpar. Let's see. I believe in the unofficial translations, it's Admiral Akbar, isn't it? Rather than Commander. You there, Luckychi? Are you away or something? Or hello? Luckychi, you there? Hello? Okay, Luckychi seems to be Luckychi seems to be a bit absent, folks, so I'm going to have to go on a bit more on my thoughts by myself for a bit. But I do like how she now sees Shigaraki as not just like a menace to like just one country. He's now like a threat to the entire world if they let him live and all that stuff. So it's like, okay, we need to seriously take this guy down now, otherwise the whole world might be in trouble. So it's like, we may have to do tactics that might be not, let's see, like Japan can't really use and all that stuff, and might be questionable in some regards, because it's like, this is more like an international kind of like, this could cause like an international debate and all that stuff, so yeah. Anyway, I do like how also, we get to see the pilots, we get to see like a casual outfit with the pilots flashback and just see how much the bond she had with these pilots and how much they trust her and all that stuff. It's like, from what I can understand, this is similar to like US soldiers' camaraderie, just camaraderie with like, let's see, military pilots and like people from military, regardless of like where, let's see, the people you fight alongside with, you're like brothers, they'll fight to arms, die together if you do and all that stuff. So there's that. Luckychi, you back yet, or? Okay, he's still not back yet, so I'm going to have to keep giving my thoughts, people, and all that stuff, but yeah. But anyway, I do like how she goes like, let's see, granted, I do like how she's able to create a giant avatar like figure of herself to create like out of air to create like a, let's see, giant fist bump attack from her and all that stuff.
Hey Blue, I'm sorry if you called out earlier. I just had a phone call.
I kind of did, so I ended up having to go a bit about trying my own like and thoughts and all that. I was kind of talking a bit about how I liked how she realized, okay, Shigaraki's more than just a threat to just one country, the entire world. So they're going to have to now use tactics that Japan can't do, and some might be even questionable, unethical.
Yeah.
So it's like, I like how seriously she's taking Shigaraki. I was talking a bit about how I like how, like earlier, we got to see her civilian outfit, and we see with the flashback with like a pilot was having her, showing the camaraderie these pilots have. And I was talking like, I assume this is similar camaraderie that U.S. military soldiers, pilots, Navy all have with one another when you're like fighting together and dying together as like brothers in arms and all that stuff. At least I assume so, or maybe just countries in general. But are you on the phone again, or
No. I'm listening.
But yeah, so I assume that.
I'll tell you this: if I'm muted, then it's probably because something's going on my end. But
yeah. You probably might know a bit more about that, about U.S. military camaraderie, at least the culture around it, at least in your country.
Yeah, we fight. Actually, there's something more deeper than that, but someone's gonna be looking at this and going like, "It's actually this." I'm like, "All right, cool." I'm sure someone out there's watching this and going like, "Okay, let me reinform them." Okay. No matter. Unless you're blue.
I'm sorry if I get you in trouble with the U.S. military, Luckychi.
I mean, It's not like we're insulting them.
No. I mean, from what I can tell, from what we can tell, we're praising their like brothers in arms camaraderie they have.
I feel like that's any military thing, though. That's not.
But,
I
yeah.
feel like that happens with any.
Yeah, to be fair, it probably is true, but I don't know that. Let's see, American media likes to put an emphasis on it and all that stuff. American culture,
at the very least.
so I do like that. But yeah, you probably, regardless of any country, you mostly well, for the most part. Of course, granted, there are probably some countries that might not have that sense of loyalty, but yeah. But it's definitely, I think, regarded in the US and all that stuff. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, going back to what I was going to talk about just when you arrived, I do like how she's able to create a giant avatar of herself.
Legit. It is quite literally a giant avatar. Maybe not Korra level, but actually maybe it is Korra level.
Let's see, but yeah, avatar, kaiju, whatever you want to make it out as. But yeah.
It is a thing for sure.
But yeah, it definitely kind of reminds. But yeah, like we said earlier, it does kind of remind me of the inner Sakura a
bit. Yeah, right.
But I do like.
Think about it until I pointed it out. So there's that.
Yeah, I do like how it's interesting that Shigaraki can't see it, but he's still terrified of it. I do like that.
I mean, wouldn't you? I'm pretty sure I'd be terrified. You're like, oh.
It's like, okay, she's doing something, and it's scary.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I do like how just whatever movement she does, you can just see the avatar doing the exact same thing, or you can just see the impact of what it's implying and all that stuff.
I was gonna say it might be beach mode, but I don't know if beach mode's the right comparison I would use. Oh, I think inner Sakura's probably more fitting.
But yeah, but who knows? It could be that stuff. But yeah. I have to make me wonder, is the Nomu that Shigaraki riding on now dead from the impact?
If that's the case, well, rest in peace, Nomu.
But yeah. But I do like how, let's see...
It took away Shigaraki's ability to... Okay, I'm pretty sure he has other means of travels too, but the guy was riding a Nomu. Come on. You can't look more awesome than that.
But yeah, I do like how when she's doing these attacks, she's come to the conclusion, like, trying to say Shigaraki's name and making rules like that's not going to work, so just use brute force to kill him to the atoms.
Yeah.
But yeah. I do like how she orders, like, she's able to order her pilots, like, Ritzy, create a combination attack by shooting lasers and all that stuff. But then she's able to combine them into one to create some sort of, like, mega laser that looks like a spear with the way... You know, I like how it's like she's holding a weapon.
Again, guys, Indra's arrow.
So yeah.
You know what? Just because I'm just gonna feel like it. I gotta dig through the past again.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna be the one to take a bullet. I'll take a bullet.
Go ahead, Luckychi, take the bullet. No, joking.
Well, okay, fine. You turn out to be.
No, I'm joking. No, that's it. Don't, that's it. No one put their bullets on Luckychi.
Yeah, put it on blue.
Hey, you're not much of a decent friend either with that remarks, Luckychi. But no, but seriously, no one took, not a literal bullet, but like a metaphorical one we were talking about here.
Yeah,
but no, go on, Luckychi. Say what you're going to say that's going to be controversial.
No, it's not controversial. I'm just diving back to the final battle between Naruto and Sasuke. I'm looking for Indra's arrow.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought there wasn't anything controversial. Just,
Yeah, you want to make a comparison between the two.
Yeah. Okay. I guess this isn't the worst part about the final volume, but just things.
Is this the bit where, because Sasuke was combining it with like the tailed beast chakra, making him apparently as strong as the Sage of Six Paths and all that stuff?
Let me see if I can find it. I'm pretty sure it's here somewhere. That shot still looks pretty cool.
Fair enough.
This one right here. I'll send it to you through Skype.
Okay, let me just get my phone up and all that stuff so I can just quickly take a look. I take it you're sending it. Whoops. Okay.
This isn't the one I'm sending you. This isn't the one I was going to send you, but I still have the shot.
Oh, okay, the fist bump move.
Yeah, the fist bump move's cool. Where is this guy's Indra arrow? Shit.
But yeah, anyway, probably should get back to the chat.
Yeah, you go ahead and keep going while I look for this thing.
But yeah, I do like how, let's see, this. She realizes this laser is not enough to, let's see, kill Shigaraki. Otherwise, Endeavor would have killed him with his fire and all that stuff. Which, so it seems like we got a scale of just how powerful these combined laser attacks are. It's apparently as powerful as Endeavor's strongest flames and all that stuff. So it's like, okay. Because all she's doing is trying to pin him down while, we get Akbar, which I still like how he actually looks like Admiral Akbar, but with a mustache.
I'm telling you guys, they looked at Akbar.
Yeah.
And Akbar was like, you know what? I was treated like shit in the sequels. I'm coming over here next.
You're probably going to get sequel trilogy fans mad at us, Luckychi.
I'm pretty sure you agree with me on that.
Well, yeah, I must admit, I'm kind of disappointed of how Akbar was handled.
Yeah, right.
It's like, it 2 cameos, and it's like, and he dies in the second cameo.
Oh, they changed the panel there. Damn it. Actually, hold on. I gotta dig through the other panels just to see if it's here.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I do like how they seem to have given him a Teddy Roosevelt, mustache.
Yeah, that part is pretty cool. I was like, okay.
You don't want to get many presidents with mustaches these days.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess
I mean, look at Lincoln. Apparently, some girl told him he looked ugly, so he had to set up the girl goatee. I'm like, okay.
And yeah, it's one of the most iconic beards in U.S. history.
All because some girl told him he looked ugly.
Well, I now understand where South Park got that reference from when they did the ugly episode.
Right.
But yeah, I do find it interesting from this conversation that due to Stars and Stripes actions, she's going to probably lose more than just her hero license.
She'll be damn it, I lost what I was going to say. Her head will be chopped off. There we go. It's a little dark, but
I know. Let's see. So, what you think she's going to get the death penalty in the US or something?
In court, what do we give her? Death. Just have that scene from Dark Knight Rises.
From my understanding, certain states still have the death penalty, right?
I think so. No, but it's like this. It's like exiled by death.
Yeah, but no. It's interesting that.
Okay, my reference is I've been doing that a lot this stream.
But due to apparently that, let's see, from her actions alone, let's see, she's going to lose her license and all that stuff. So it makes me wonder if she's also going to possibly put in some sort of jail or something for going about without, let's see, leaving the US without proper orders and let's see, coming to Japan without, I guess, proper authorization and all that stuff. I do like how it's let's see, she's well, that doesn't really matter to her just as long as Shigaraki's taking out.
Right.
I must admit, but I have to admit, the losing the license stuff does give sort of a red flags kind of vibe to me.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's she's either going to lose her quirk or not make it out alive. But yeah,
I'm gonna tell you this: if she goes out, all I'm gonna say is people are gonna be pissed off. So,
fair enough. But yeah, I do like how he's like Japan has been informed of the strike, so they're like, okay, it's not like a foreign country is about to attack them. Okay, it's trying to eliminate our biggest problem here. So it's like,
right.
now granted, I do like how Agbar says like her defiance of the rules. Let's see, regardless, even though she gets in trouble, at the same time, it's allowed, let's see, the US, their nation to shine all the brighter and all that stuff. As he goes on how All Might couldn't take down this villain to himself to a proper end, so this is this is her chance to surpass him and all that stuff. Which to be fair, it's like taking down a villain that not even All Might could ever properly fully do in the end would probably make one be regarded as the greatest hero of all time. To be fair. Luckychi, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Oh, I don't know if you were asking me anything,
But yeah, sorry, that was a question that sort of like what I was.
Repeat it one more time. Repeat it one more time, and then I'll answer.
Let's see. Well, granted, there was a mix of a question, and then figured I don't know. It's a statement that I figured you'd probably respond to, but like, let's see the Agbar sees this as like a chance to for Stars and Stripes to surpass All Might, if you will, by defeating the one villain that he could not.
True. That's
Well, to be fair, him and Shigaraki never directly fighted, but it's the one villain that always managed to get away from him in the end.
Yep. Like I said, because we have this one person who's kind of like hidden. I don't know. Like again, I might be looking into that panel a bit, but I'm kind of just like, if that's supposed to be her mom, then why cover it with a dialogue bubble? That's my thing.
But yeah. Yeah, I do like how many regarding like if Shigaraki ever gets defeated, let's see, then that hero will surpass All Might in a sense. Which to be fair, is probably what's going to happen with Midoriya. He defeat Itzy because that's probably how he was going to surpass All Might. Now, granted, though, with the other chapters, it's probably going to be applied. It's going to be more of a team effort, but yeah.
There's one way Shigaraki can defeat Stars and Stripes. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
Eat this.
Oh dear Lord, Luckychi.
I blame James.
But yeah, I do like how we got this like little panel of a photo between her and All Might. Let's see when All Might saved her and all that stuff. But yeah, look, granted, there's also a little photo of where the guy that was covered in the speech marks, Luckychi. There's also another panel where you can see him, but without his face and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't see the details of his face, but it's a bit more clear. So it's like, does that look like Dave from like? Does that look a little bit more like Dave's like costume he wore and all that stuff? I mean, it's been a while since.
Unless, I mean, again, I don't think for sure that. Well, yeah, at this point, I think that the theory is pretty much gone that Cassie could be All Might's daughter, but.
Well, yeah, it's very much implied it's the girl he saved from the movie.
Well, yeah, no, that much is confirmed, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, why block it over who's I'm assuming is supposed to be the mom. That's
my guess is he didn't want to block All Might and like let's see Cassie or Stars and Stripes as a young girl because it's like he's trying to emphasize like the bond these two have and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. I'm kind of just like, I don't know. When you look at panels, sometimes it kind of gets into that scenario, like, like metaphors and stuff. Like,
but yeah,
what it could allude to and everything,
Yeah. But anyway, I do like how they use these hypersonic missiles called Tiamat. Tiamat, I believe. Tiamat.
Yeah.
I completely
Again, guys, for those of you who are curious, that's the last thing Koei did before he did My Hero. So
yeah, Barrage or Bulge as for life likes to keep going on.
That Manga Wars podcast was great.
I believe that those 2 volumes were like published into the US, right?
Yep, that actually, funny enough, side tangent here. When I went to go pick up the Ultra Analysis data book, the bookstore I went to actually still had those 2 volumes, so they're still selling them apparently. So it's not like they don't sell them.
I'm curious if I can find them in the UK or at least on Amazon.
I think you could. I mean, they're only 2 volumes.
Yeah, it's like it's not too much of like a okay, this takes too much of my space kind of thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I have to admit, let's see, do these missiles? Do you think these might be the equivalent of like nuclear missiles in the world of My Hero?
It could. Let's see here. It says
Haven't-
K418181. Okay. I had a little bit of text on this. So I was just trying to read out what it says.
But yeah, because let's see, as far as we know, let's see. Granted, it's never made clear whether or not nuclear weaponry still exists in the world of My Hero.
Right.
No, I assume it probably would to an extent, but yeah. So yeah. No, granted, at the very least, we know that they're aiming all these missiles at Shigaraki.
Will they succeed? Well, like I said, guys, if you let Shigaraki get defeated here, hell, you lower his credibility as a villain. If you let Stars and Stripes get defeated, well, people are going to get pissed off because you just introduced her in that.
To an extent, probably, yeah, but I do like how, but yeah, it's pretty much at this point, it's now Shigaraki versus the U.S. military.
All right.
But yeah, so it's like, but yeah, but in many ways, I do have to admit this. Let's see, but granted, I have to admit this fight is lasting a bit longer than I imagined it was. I mean, it started like at least 2 chapters ago, right?
I mean, yeah, like because this arc started with 329, so I mean, you. It's funny because I did say that maybe this arc could be. I mean, this arc now is starting to look more like it's Shigaraki's arc since we're already like 3 chapters in. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm thinking more and more that this could be the same length as. Like, I don't think it's going to be Meta Liberation Army length, but same length as say the Pro Hero arc or the Endeavor Agency arc. I still think it's going to be that. It could be that, but.
From where I can probably guess, at least, let's see, because
it's been 3 chapters so far. That's all I'm gonna say. It's been 3 chapters.
I have to admit, for a while, let's see, the last 2 like next times it's like climax of the fight, and it seems like, well, granted, climax does not necessarily mean like the last volume or chapter, as we've learned from previous mangakas.
All right. Let me see real quick. Actually, if we're going by volumes, and if my theory is correct on volume 33, actually, hold on. Let me see real quick. How long is the chapters? 131. Yeah, this is 131. 130. Oh, 131 was 17. Okay. So 131 could be the start of volume 34.
Fair enough.
I think. Oh, shoot. You know what I just realized? That would make chapter 330 the end of volume 33.
Okay.
So you pretty much, for those who are curious, and if my theory is correct on this, that means the Deku versus Class A fight up to the beginning of the Shigaraki versus Stars and Stripes fight is what we're gonna potentially is what 33 will cover. But
fair enough. But yeah. So so at the moment, I think this fight is probably going to last up to at least 6 chapters now, at least.
Yeah. So
I think it's it's like a sort of standard boss fight level in terms of length of chapters. Which, to be fair, with an opponent like with people like Stars and Stripes and Shigaraki, that's probably as powerful as they are. You'd probably expect that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's probably how long this fight is going to last. But yeah.
6 chapters, right? It's possible. I can see it.
Granted, we still have no idea who's going to win or lose at the end of this fight, or if it's going to end up in some sort of stalemate. Though, granted, there are some red flags going to Stars and Stripes at this chapter, but yeah.
Like I said, if it goes one way or the other, someone's going to be pissed off about this. So,
well, granted, I do wonder that if Stars and Stripes does end up losing a little bit, but by end, I do wonder if the terms of length of this fight might make it somewhat acceptable for some people. It's like, okay, she wasn't taken down too quickly and all that stuff.
True. I mean, look, I'll say this. If Shigaraki just touches her with his hand, especially that, it's game over. Just say that right now.
You mean his decay, or because of his
Well, here's the thing. If he touches someone, that's it. There's no going back from that. So.
Okay, decay plus the 1 all-for-1 and all that stuff. It's like it either disintegrates you or steals your quirk, or both.
Yeah. That's the big thing.
So yeah. I have to admit, yes, she's done a pretty good job at trying to avoid his hand touches so far.
So far.
But yeah. The Star Wars. Let's see. Before I go for 12 score, I must admit, I'm really liking all the Star Wars references.
I know, right? I'm kind of wondering if Koei's kind of just memeing it now. That's what I gotta feel like he's doing. We had Wedge, now we're having Akbar show up. I'm telling you, all we need now is Palpatine.
Let's see. That, or get someone with a US hero with a quirk called Skywalker, where he can walk on the sky.
I literally walk on the sky.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't put it past Koei to do that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure someone out there has that quirk. I'm positive about that.
I'd be really surprised if he ends up doing a Jar Jar lookalike with quirk user. Now that would be interesting. I mean, it would be pretty ballsy. And then again, I don't really know how Japan feels about the prequel trilogy compared to the US, where it's a bit more mixed.
I mean, people now are starting to appreciate it. It's not
So yeah. Though granted, we have no idea if Koei is just an OT fanboy, a purist or not.
True.
You never know what type of fan. Yeah, let's see. You never know with the type of fans you get and all that stuff. So yeah.
I think Anakin's better. Did I start something? I'm sorry. I'll get my mouth shut.
At some point, we probably gotta do a Star Wars stream on Anakin Skywalker. You and me, Luckychi.
I feel like you and I would just be gushing about
that. Anakin Skywalker versus Luke Skywalker.
Then I feel like we'd have to bring James on board for that one.
Probably, yeah. But yeah. So anything else you want to talk about what you liked about this chapter, Luckychi?
I mean, if we're talking progression-wise, we're still kind of in the fight, but it's doing a lot more for us as far as getting a little more insight for Star's quirk, which I think is really good, and it is showing that for Shigaraki that this is probably one of the toughest fights he's had. So,
if not the toughest.
In terms of the plot, we haven't progressed a lot, but in terms of characterization and world building, it's in a few things.
So you think the exposition was handled pretty well then, and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I must admit, it's kind of nice to have a villain figure out, okay, this is how the fight is going down, because sometimes you just have people explain their abilities and then they figure out afterwards, or you get some sort of flashback thing explaining it, all that stuff, which to a minor extent kind of happens a little bit when you see this one panel of us saying New Order and stuff, but that's more of for the purpose, but yeah.
Yeah.
In many ways, it's pretty good though. Granted, I will admit the exposition did take me a while to summarize the chapter.
You're good. You're good. Granted, I feel like my references might have actually done a little bit of it too,
but yeah, one of these days I'll try and summarize the chapter in less than 10 minutes. But yeah, but anyway, overall, I think I'll give this chapter a 9 out of 10, maybe 8.5, lowest really.
Oh, okay. Side note, I just looked at some of the wiki, so it is actually David that's in the photograph. So
okay,
nothing suspicious, guys. I looked into it too much.
You look, Luckychi looking into much, but yeah, but at the very least, this is probably the closest we're going to see David in the canon manga for the time being.
At least for now. I'm going to assume we'll probably get Melissa then eventually.
But yeah, I do like how, but we're getting more and more of these tie-ins to the first movie.
Yeah, so for all you guys think, oh, movies aren't canon.
Well, they are. They're just not primarily essential, really.
Well, all I'm going to say is, now we just need Rhodey and, well, I know people are mixed on the kids showing up, but they can come through.
But yeah, the movie, in many ways, the movies sort of represent like stuff that Koei can't do with like the manga scheduling and all that stuff. It's like ideas and story and stuff that the manga wasn't able to do at the time and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the movies are, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it's like 8.5 to 9 out of 10. I don't know. What do you think, Luckychi?
I think that's reasonable. So that'd be around my score too. It'd be like around like a great +2, maybe an amazing rating. This is where I would give the chapter its rating at.
We got some like fantastic art scenes with Shigaraki landing on the plane and like what's he, Stars and Stripes silhouette of of a giant figure of herself, and we got a proper explanation of the quirk that shows more of the strengths and weaknesses of what she can and cannot, bend the rules to, between non-living objects and living people. And some Star Wars references and some very powerful weapons to boot. So yeah, overall, that's pretty fun. Looking forward to see how this fight will conclude, though. I think we've probably got a few more chapters before that, but overall, I'm Blue Star Saber.
I'm Luckychi.
And we are signing off. Thank you for joining us, everyone. And if you managed to make it all the way to the end, or if you managed to watch it all the way to the end, let's see. We'll try and make it shorter with the next one if it ends up being too long. But overall, I hope you had fun. Plus Ultra.
Eat this.
You ruined the Plus Ultra. No, I'm joking, but yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Plus Ultra.